All right, guys and ladies, pay attention. Now, one thing I've observed is that often students may not be as strong as you need to be in terms of basic skills like working with the operating system, the command prompt, creating files, copying files, creating directories, and so on. So we're going to spend the first little bit of work here on setting up the interstellar travel website, just on reinforcing some basic skills. So first of all, I'm going to go and open my command prompt. And I'm going to make a directory to get myself organized. And Mac people, you don't really have any challenge here because you pretty much got to work in your home directory or you won't be able to do anything because of all the security restrictions. But a lot of Windows people, by default, they save everything in the desktop. No, no, no. Go to your root of your C drive and make your directory from there. Why? First of all, Visual Studio Code really does not work well with deeply nested directory structures. And if you go to desktop, you're already at C, users, documents and settings, blah, blah, blah. And also those directory paths have spaces in the file names. No spaces. No. No. I don't know why Microsoft let you do that. It's going to be a major source of problems. So I went to my command terminal and I did cd, change directory, space, backslash. Yeah, everybody else in the world and in programming languages, to go to the file system, you call it /. Why Microsoft choose to use backslash? That's why we call it Microsoft. But anyway, I'm recording this, so I won't say any bad thing about them. So now I'm going to make a directory. So I'll say mkdir. Well, actually, I already made a directory here before, so I'll just stick with the same one. I can't remember what I called it, so I'll go and check in Windows Explorer. I called it Interstellar Travel. All right, cool. So that's everything is going to be in there or in a subdirectory. So I'll say cd, and I'll do Control V to paste. And now I'm going to make Visual Studio Code with that as my home directory. So Visual Studio Code. And I'm going to go and say change to this directory. So file, open folder, and Interstellar Travel. See, I used an underscore. I didn't put a space there. And make all of your file names lowercase, because some programming languages are case sensitive and others are not. And if you make, capitalize certain letters, you're going to have to remember that for all eternity. If you keep it all lowercase, that won't be a problem. So now close down your welcome screen. Now the first thing we need to do is, I'm going to start with making my index.html, because why not? So I'll go here and say file, new file, index.html. Now, ideally, if I had several days to do this, I would go and now start using all the lab stuff we've learned. I would go and start generating this file using section and aside and nav and header and footer. However, it's 8:54. I'd like to get this finished by end of class. So just because I'm learning, just as a little bit of an enablement at the beginning here, I will go to my lab book and I'll get it out of here. So here, and this is in your, I'll put this in the Learn site tomorrow as well, so you have access to it. Here is our instructions. Control F, and I'll look for index.html. Index.html. Yeah, so here is an index.html, which is good enough for now. I could always make it better. So I'll copy directly out of here. So Control C, go over to my editor and Control V. And let's see what that looks like. So save and view it in Live Server. Starting to look okay. And I'll leave it to you to go and study and analyze by yourself based on the stuff we've done, how we've embedded, asides within sections and so on. But that looks not bad. So there is my footer. Now, the one extra little challenge you have here is we want to get our advertiser, Quantum Fizz Cola. We want to try and get their image there. So I'm not sure if you guys have seen the IMG tag yet. Pretty simple. So go back to your instructions. And I think I put it here near the beginning. Yeah. So can I just right click? Yeah, save. So you can just go right click from that to the web page. So save image as and drop it in your project directory. Oh, that's my A drive, not my C drive. C drive. There we go, Interstellar Travel. And I'll just give it some simple name such as Fizz Cola. Dot. Oh, that's an AVIF. I don't think that's going to render as a in a web browser. Now, there's various tools you can get to convert image from one format to another. I don't want you to spend your time on it. I'll just convert it to a PNG and post it up on the Slack channel so you can get it from there. Now, it's possible that AVIF, I don't even know what that is, might render. So let's give it a shot, but I think probably it can only be JPEG or PNG. So let's go back to our... Whoops, I guess I opened Visual Studio Code twice. All right, so let's get rid of that. So here I'm going to put, I'll put an image tag to get that pulled in. And I told you before to make good use of your outline functionality so you can navigate your way around in busy pages. So here's the head. I know it's not going to go in head. Here's the body. Here's H1. Here's our sponsor. So I guess I'll put the sponsor's images in there. So I'll say angle bracket IMG for image. Source equals, and I'll use double quotes. And I should put alt, like alt is for assistive technologies like readers for people who require assistance. So my source here is going to be, if this works, I don't think this image format will work, but I don't know, maybe it will, then I'll learn something new. So Fizz Cola dot AVIF. So save and refresh. Oh, it does work. Very cool. That's news to me. I didn't know that it would. So that's my image. Now, of course, that's kind of unpleasantly big. So let's use another attribute of the image here. And also my browser is quite correctly telling me, for legal reasons and so on, I must have an alt. I must have a description of it. So, yeah, alt equals quant. Yeah, and it's... Now, by the way, height and width only constrain one of them. Because unless your image is exactly square, and most images aren't, if I constrain both of them, I'll squish it. I'll look too short and too fat or whatever. So just constrain one and let your browser figure out the other one. Now, if you're needing a little bit of an assist in terms of your HTML tags, The best site to go to is W3 Schools. So if you can't remember, oh, what's the thing for working with an image or something, do what I do, which is go to W3 Schools HTML. I don't know who's paying for that. It's an amazing site. Like somebody spent a lot of money putting the stuff together. So HTML image or table or whatever else it is you need. Oh, I have to say HTML image. Yeah, so you can look up div and class and layout and all that stuff we've been working with, forms and so on. But if you wanted, for example, image, just go and find it here. Should be here. Where's image? Oh, images. Right, so IMG is the tag, source is the file, alt, and then you can have height and width, and that's about it. There really isn't more to it than that. Yeah, interesting. They aren't. Oh yeah, here's how to control the height and width. So anyway, that's there. If you need it, go and get it. So I guess I didn't save this. So save. Oh yeah, that's not bad. I kind of like that. Now I will leave it to you. And tomorrow when we do flex boxes, this would be a great example of using a flex box. Because with flex, see right now with what I know now, I might sort of want to have the image on the left and then the text and the box on the right, and I might want to have a little border around the text box, and I might want to have a light yellow background. Can I do that with what I know now? Maybe. I mean, I guess I could use a table maybe, and I could put it in table cells. But tomorrow with flex boxes, that's going to be a mega good example of that. So we'll come back to that then. So anyway, I'm still working on my index.html. Now what I need to do next is, you see, if I hover over book your trip, then if I look down here, in my status bar, it's saying what we talked about at the beginning, the address, the address of the computer, 127.0.0.1 by convention in TCP/IP. That is the IP address of your own computer which you're working on. Colon, remember we talked about port. Well, this web server is serving up on port 5500, and then the asset name is mercury.html. So the next thing I need to do now is go and make all of those other files, Mercury and Venus and all the rest of them. So I'll do that now. I will demonstrate. Now, there's an old saying here in computer doing land: you should never do something simply if you can do it more complicated. There was a joke back in the 1980s when I was getting into this that, if you're a really good programmer, you can write a program to do something in 5 hours that it would take anybody else 5 minutes to do without a computer. But anyway, that's just the way we were back then. So I'm going to just copy. I could make various files, right? I could make Mercury, Venus, and so on. But I'm just going to try exercising, flexing my command prompt skills to see if I can copy it here. So I'll say copy index.html to mercury.html. And now I can just proceed to go and do that for all the rest of them, Venus and so on. That's just getting me the file set up. I still need to go and customize them, but at least I'm saving a little time, I think, by doing it this way. So Venus, I remember back then, all those guys I used to hang around with, because I thought it was just me, but I found it happened for everyone. You know, we were so enamored. We were just so in love with all the things you could do with a computer, and we were working in it either for a corporate or for our own, little hobby projects or our own businesses. Anyway, we would sit up all night writing programs, and we get home at 6 in the morning, and our wives would be there staring at us, going, "Where were you?" And we'd explain. We'd tell her the truth. "Oh, I was at the office. I was writing a program to do this and that." And it wasn't just my wife. They all would apparently say the same thing. "If you're having an affair, just tell me. You don't have to make up these stupid stories." Like, what mentally normal person would sit up all night doing whatever this stupid programming thing is? Anyway, you guys are never going to know this. You're the next, and I'm just telling you because I want this knowledge to not die with me when I go. You got to know where this all came from. All right, let's make the rest of them now. Earth, Mars, what's the next one after Mars? You'd be amazed how many classes don't know that. Jupiter, J, U. Of course, I got to spell it the right way, so I better go back and check here. Jupiter. For some reason, I want to spell it like Jupyter Notebook and Python with the Y, but not so. Saturn. Oh, asteroid belt, don't forget that one. Oh, choose the stylish rings decided. Where's asteroid belt? This would be a good time to use my outline, by the way. Which for some reason is not, I don't know why. For some reason, when I do that Control Shift E thing, I get this little screen drawing tool. I don't know why it turns that on, but anyway, now I should be able to go here. Yeah, that's now I can get into this. And let's find what happened to my asteroid belt. Asteroid. Maybe I didn't make a page. Oh, yeah, maybe I left that as an example for you. I think I did not actually. I mean, you should put the asteroid belt, but I'll leave it to you to do that by yourself. Let's see if it's in the nav menu. So there is our CSS. Where's my nav? Oh, I didn't put a nav tag in here? Really? Anyway, I'll leave it to you to go. I think there's instructions. I think I gave you the sort of version 1 of it with some recommendation to go and add some of your own stuff. We can work on that tomorrow when we do our CSS. So here is Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. No, I didn't put the asteroid belt. All right, anyway, I'll add it in later. So I don't need to put it there now. That's my point here. I don't need that for a file. I have Saturn, and I need Neptune and Pluto. Just those two. Yeah, Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto. All right, finish it up. So now you just go to here. So there's all of my files I just made. And you just start dunking in, for example, Mars. You can go and get, I mean, you can write your own content as well. But if you just want to sort of study the starter content, where did I put it? Did I close it? I guess I closed it. I'm going to go, no, it's, I don't know what it is. I guess I closed it. All right, I'm going to open that again. Code off. Yeah, apparently I did have asteroid belt here. And that is what my nav menu looks like. Anyway, when I need that, if I don't have it, then I'm going to get like a broken link when I click on it. I'll go and fix it up when that happens. What I'm looking for right now is my text for the Mercury planet. Mercury.index.html. So you see here, for every page, I have a consistent nav widget, like a nav component. Yeah, I guess I left it for you to just go and generate, just customize the content for each of these. I thought I had put the content here, but I don't see it now. So anyway, let's go back and see what our page looks like so far. So here is index. Oh, I've got Mercury, but the content's the same. I haven't customized the content, right? So I'll leave it to you to go and do that. Here is Venus. Here is Earth. Jupiter. So all of my files are there. I just need to put the content in them. Oh, I don't have Uranus yet, so I guess I better go and put that one in. Copy. And I thought I did it. Maybe I spelled it wrong. No, I didn't do it. All right, I'll do it now. Control V to paste. All right, now I have that. And Pluto. And I'm going to make one for the asteroid belt while I'm here. Ah, there we go. Asteroid-belt.html. So I need to make another file here. I guess I haven't made it yet. So I'll just say File, New File, asteroid-belt.html. And now I'm going to have to go and modify all of my other pages because the nav structure to add that in. There are actually ways to automate that, but I don't want to make it too complicated for you right at the beginning. Um, for reasons like that, generally the preferred practice these days is you don't really make too much static HTML, maybe just a couple of landing pages, and then all of your other content is generated by a SQL pull from a database. But in this case, because you just want to go hands on and get your eyes and your hands trained for working with the structure, it probably shouldn't be too much of a challenge for you to just go and add all of these. Go to here and just add a reference to asteroid belt. By the way, which two planets are the asteroid belt between? It's going to be a final exam question. Where's the asteroid belt in the solar system? Mars, asteroid belt, Jupiter. The story goes that millions of years ago there was a cosmic war, and whoever was on Earth then was like having a fight with some other space alien somewhere, and they got mad at at the solar system and destroyed. There was a planet there that was apparently pulverized by some super alien space weapon. Now that, of course, is just some crazy harebrained conspiracy theory. We don't have any way to prove that. However, interesting fact: on Mars there is xenon, which can only in a isotope which can only be produced by nuclear explosions, and the Moon, which is apparently just a dead rock, has shavings in the soil. There's titanium and other metals which are the product of an industrial civilization. Take that for whatever you want. Just letting you know I'm here to expand your mind a little bit. Those last two things I said are true. Sometimes I mess around, but you can go and fact check that yourself. All right, so anyway, let's go and add asteroid belt in here. So I guess I can just take one of my existing... By the way, these things are called a stanza. A portion of an XML file, which HTML is a subset of XML, that is called a stanza, just like a block in a poetry, like a poem or something would be a stanza of the poem. So I'm going to save this text that I have because I don't want to lose it. And I'll copy and paste this. And here, so now I have two copies of this thing relating to Pluto. So planet is still going to be I'm still making it of class planet, but here it's going to display asteroid belt. And my page name is going to be this. And then I have to go and do that for all of my other pages as well. And I have to come up with some catchy marketing thing to describe it as. All right, so there's my URL reference. And I don't know, I can just come up with something clever to say about the asteroid belt. All right, that's pretty much it. I'm not going to introduce any new content today. It's 9:20, right? We'll run the class. I don't know, usually we run until about 9:45 or so. So this is your time. If you have any questions, let me know. And you're probably not going to get the whole thing finished. You know, you probably are not going to go into all 9 pages for all the planets. But I would say at least get 2 or 3 of them, maybe Earth, Mars, Venus, and just be able to click, make sure your hyperlinks are working between all 3 of them, and just study and pay attention to the things we've done in terms of our structural tags. And tomorrow, come to this, come to our class tomorrow with this sort of at least in a little bit of a ready state, because then we can apply CSS and Flexboxes and so on to it. I'm going to end my video now because I guess I've showed you all the major